All right. It is the first live stream Cowboy Metals live of August on August 1st, 2021. Hope everybody is doing well. We're going to let this stream load before we jump into it. Let YouTube tell everybody that we're in the stream and the emails that I sent out reach everyone. We'll give it a minute before we dive right into the middle of the presentation. Hope everybody is doing very well. On this August 1st, this will be the first Cowboy Metals in August, and we're going to talk about gold and silver charts and why they're mirroring exactly the past bull markets and why you shouldn't be worried about this market in case you were. We're also going to talk about the upcoming conference we have going on in about 18 days. That is the Money Metal Summit 2021, the second annual that we have going on. It originally was going to be virtual. We're making the first day on site as well, and we're going to show you how to come to the DFW area and get registered for that. If you're interested, we've got several people coming out, people flying in from all over the country actually to join us there. We're going to have a lot of fun with that, and we'll get into that here in a few minutes. I'm going to let the chat load. Michael is here. Thank you, Michael, for joining. Ross Martindale, Alvin, Silver Eagle, several other people are in the chat. We'll give it a moment before we get started. We'll wait until we get about 100 people in here. Want to let you guys know that we are going to make some changes as well to our overall subscription. That will be coming up. I won't be talking about that on this video, but for those of you who are subscribers, we're bringing you more benefits and more reason, if you're not a subscriber, to become one. All right, looks like the chat is loading. We're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation today. Welcome everybody to Cowboy Metals, first edition of August 2021. This is where we broadcast from the great state of Texas, and we take no BS. Because that's what we do in Texas. We tell the truth, and we are of honor. Welcome, Kristen, to the program. I got the wonderful experience of speaking with Kristen yesterday, and she's going to be flying down to meet us at the conference. She's one of the first few people that have bought tickets to that. Thank you, Kristen. We look forward to seeing you, and you can tell us stories of Alaska, where you're coming from. All right, we'll get into the presentation now. Let me go ahead and get to the share screen, guys. And we are going to talk about the gold and the silver markets. I'm going to start off right now with a gold chart. So this is a cool chart that was posted on Twitter. I'm 100% in favor of charts like these because there's a lot said. You know, they say a picture has 1,000 words. And what we're looking at here is the gold bull market of the 1970s versus the bull market of the 2000s. And what you can see is almost an exact mirror image of what happened in the 1970s market happening now since 2000. And one of the things that we talk about is if you're in the generalized stock market, the gold and silver had beaten the pants out of the, just index funds in the major stock markets, the Dow, the S&P, as well as the Wilshire with reinvested dividends. And we're not even into the highest leg of that gold market yet, or the silver market yet. See, if you look right here, basically what has been graphed out is the 1970 gold bull market, which is this yellow. And then the red is what has started in 2000, the one that's beaten the pants off the stock market, by the way, already. And we're only right here. We're sort of on the beginning of that upswing curve. And this is something I've talked about. I talked about this pattern right here, this cup and handle pattern. We've had the cup, and now we've had a little bit of a pullback to form a little handle. And then just like we did in the 1970s, and the next move up was big. There were a couple of tracements along the way. And then eventually it went vertical. That's what happened to that bull market. We're in just this general upswing right now, the baby part of the first part of the bull cycle of gold. And if things follow through, which I think they will, we're going to have a massively increasing gold price. The 1970 gold bull market had a 2,382% return. So far in the 2000 market, even though we've beaten the pants off the stock market, we're only at 554%. So it's not as if, we don't have a lot of room to run. We have plenty of room to run. And you could see gold go up quite a bit. Thousands of dollars even at the end of this bull run. It's going to be historic, I think, when it happens. So for those of you who are kind of down on the gold market, wondering where we are, remember, we're long-term cycle investing. We look at the long term. We don't trade in and out. I used to do that when I was younger, when I was a kid, and then into my 20s. And then I learned to play the cycles, because when you're in the beginning of a bull cycle, it is the biggest wealth opportunity you will ever have in your lifetime. And there's nothing else that can compete. All this trading in and out, trying to beat the market, trying to get out on the 1 minute charts, or trying to trade a day chart, or trying to trade for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. In the long run, you're going to average in your losses with your gains, and your overall gains aren't going to be that great. But when you get in the beginning of a cycle like we are here, remember, this is just the uptick. This is the downtick from this market, this nice little consolidation before the big move up. If you got in anywhere here, you're going to be just fine. In fact, if you got in here, you're going to be just fine. If you got in here, you're still going to be just fine. But those of you just coming into the market, you're going to do the best because you've got this little piece right here, this nice little buying area from about 2013 to about 2020, about 6 to 7 years, where it was all consolidating. The demand was increasing. You had the government printing money like crazy, the fiat money house burning essentially. And we talked about that with Chris Marcus on our program recently. And now it's that we're in the middle stages of this gold cycle, and then it's going to explode to the upside. So don't worry about the gold market. We will be just fine. It's not going to be an issue. Those of you worried about it, don't worry. We've been talking about these patterns forever. I talked about this cup and handle, I think, for 6 months. And now I'm breaking it out and showing the longer term pattern in the gold market. We have a long, long way to run. So those of you that are worried about the gold price, are we at the end? Don't worry, we are not at the end. What has changed in the fundamentals? The money printing has gone parabolic much more than it was in the 70s. We're starting to get inflation, much like we did before. We're starting to see that creep across the supply chains. We're having issues with shutdowns. We've got government people in the US saying we're going to have more shutdowns. We've got the UK and Australia basically bringing out the police forces and military to emphasize the shutdown. So we've got a lot of unrest going on. We've basically got a breakdown of the South African political scene. We've got China rising to power and openly challenging the US along with Russia. There's a lot of things in which people are going to want to flock financially to gold. And we're just at the beginning of this cycle. So things have actually, from a financial perspective, gotten worse than they were in the 70s. Remember, we're much farther away from Nixon taking off the gold standard than we were in the 1970s when that happened in 1971. By the way, the anniversary of that's coming up. But in any case, we're at the very beginning of this gold cycle, so don't lose faith. We're almost there. We're going to get there. Don't worry so much about it. All right, I'm going to come back to the chat. Remember, guys, I have a super chat open. If you want to ask me a question, hit that super chat, and I'd be happy to answer it for you. We have our first one in from Dumb Money Media. By the way, thank you, Dumb Money Media, so much for doing the intros for our conference. I'm going to show one on the program today that Dumb Money Media did, and I appreciate all of his work. He said, that video was fun to make. Hope it was hypish enough for the event. I'm not done promoting it, so let's see how far we can push the limits. I agree with you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your contributions, and thank you for all the marketing. Not sure that we really deserve you at this point for everything you've done for us, but appreciate it very much. And I want to wish everyone who loves Dumb Money Media meme vids to visit his YouTube page, Dumb Money Media's YouTube page. And you can see all of these great vids he's putting out. A great amount of talent and work goes into that. So we definitely appreciate it, and thank you very much. Remember, super chats are open if you want to ask questions. Let's see if we have any in the chat so far. Kristen is coming. I think Michael is coming, he said. I think Yara said she's coming. We're gonna have a lot of people coming to the event. Appreciate everyone here in the chat. Let's get back to the presentation. And I'm going to talk about silver. So we looked at the gold chart and we looked at the 70s bull market and where we are and how that's a mirror effect of the bull market we have since 2000 and the 1970s. Now we're going to take a look at silver. And I think you'll see that the story is basically much the same. So we're going to move over to AbraSilver. AbraSilver is one of the companies that we have on our program because we believe in them, and they will be coming to the conference August 19th and 20th as well. And in their presentation is this fabulous chart on silver bull markets. And look at this. This is today's in the black line silver bull market compared to all of the others. And we're in the baby end of the market. We've gone up about 100% since the beginning of this bull market in silver. That's a nice return for all those complaining about silver. You've gone up 100% in a very short period of time, about 15 months. But 15 months is not where it pops. It's about 20 months where most of these start to pop. The one that was in 2003, 2008 actually popped, I would say, after about month 35. So some of these can be very long-winded, but most of them start popping right around here between 20 and about 23 months. We're at month 15, so we've got a few more months left before that silver price pops. And remember, I've been saying that the great difficulties lie ahead. The debt market problems, the oncoming central bank digital currencies, all of that lays ahead in the next 1 to 2 to 3 years. That's timing up perfectly for this monster run in silver and the monster run in gold. Think about world events. Think about the shape of the regional and global economies. Think about all of those things and think about where we are in the precious metals. All of those things are coming to fruition in the next year to 2 years. And that's exactly when the precious metals are going to take off when you compare them with previous bull markets. So we are doing just fine. Thank you very much. In this silver market, people are down on silver. They say it's not popping 28, it's not popping 30. Well, it rarely goes up in a straight line. It'll do this bit until it catches and then it goes. And we've been waiting for it to go. But remember, if you look at past bull markets, it's not aged enough just yet. It takes time for momentum to build. I think one thing that could be really different this time, or actually two things, is we have less above ground stockpiles that are available. Because remember, back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, we weren't using as much silver in our industry, even through 80s and 90s. And then when you had the iPhone starting to come about, the EV cars, the space race, that's when we started using a lot more silver. So the last 20 to 30 years, we've drawn down those above ground stockpiles. Now there are probably, we think, somewhere around 800 million to 1 billion ounces available. Maybe. We don't know how many times those have been pledged to other contracts. So how much truly free, we don't know in silver. It's the unknowable item. People ask me to estimate that. And I'm like, you know what? It's impossible really to know. But in any case, it's less available silver, especially when considered with world population and potential demand, than we've had in the last 60, 70, 80, 90 years. And so when this goes up, it's going to explode up probably higher. The second thing that has changed is the awareness. You see with Wall Street Silver, and there are 130,000 subscribers in what, 5-6 months, the explosion in the retail demand and the interest for silver with the retail sector, and people waking up and saying, I need to get into metals, looking at that high gold price where it peaked at about 2070-ish and saying, I may not have enough, but I'm going to stack silver. So for all of those that can't stack the gold, the poor man's option is the silver. And that's on top of more industrial demand than we've had in human history. Remember, the Silver Institute's published report in October last year said that we would reach over 1 billion ounces of industrial investment demand for silver in 2021 for the first time ever. That was before Wall Street Silver and that movement. So I think we're going to be well above that. I think we'll be well above 1.1 billion ounces of demand for this year. So the demand factors for silver are even more powerful than they've been in history. So I think this market we have here, this black bull market line, is going to go up higher than any of the previous ones, especially in 1978-81 when you had that high inflation that the Fed was fighting, because the underlying fundamentals of the silver market itself are completely more bullish than they were in 1978 to 1980, when we weren't using near as much silver in industry as we are now, and we had more of those strategic stockpiles available, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. I've shown that report on my program too. So I think silver is going to explode even higher, even higher. It could go way off of this chart and go above the 700%. Maybe it goes to 1,000% or even more returns. So don't worry about gold and silver. They're setting up for these massive bull markets, but we're not quite there yet. We're in, I would say, in a 9-inning game, about the 7th inning. Okay. We're in the 7th inning. Things are starting to set up. Things are starting to get tense. The teams are competing here. And I think gold and silver are going to win the day eventually. I don't think it's going to take that long. All right. So we're going to give a quick look back at the chat. Thank you, Pradeep C19. He says, are you still holding or buying GLDG? Plus, share your thoughts. So let's look up GLDD real quick. And we'll talk about GLDG. GLDG. What is GLDG ticker? Guys, I don't memorize my tickers. Sorry. I go through about 700 tickers in a day. So we're going to have to find that. I know who this company is. Is it SPDR Gold Trust GLDG stock quote? Here we go. Hot penny stocks. Goodness gracious. Why can't I get a name off GLDG? Gold mining. Yes. Okay. Gold Mining Inc. Yes. Sorry. Yes, I'm still bullish on Gold Mining Inc. I think they have a great property. I think they have good management. I think that they have some good projects. They're not at the point at which they're going to build right now, but I think they're at the point where they're continuing to explore. I think it's a good company. And yes, I do fully recommend them. Sorry, it took me so long to remember the ticker. Like I said, I go over hundreds of tickers a day. But yeah, Gold Mining Inc. I'm very positive on them. I definitely want to see them be successful. All right, so let's go back to the share. Thank you for the question. And I want to talk about the Money Metal Summit. The biggest question I get on Money Metals, there's two big questions. One, is it going to be online or is it going to be in-person event? And because people want to do an in-person event with me, we decided to do the first day in person and online. So it's going to be a hybrid. So when you sign up, you can sign up for a free ticket. If you're going online, you can sign up for a free ticket for both days. And both days will be broadcast online on the Money Metal Summit. And this is basically the Money Metal Summit. We're also, the first day, August 19th, we're having in person. It's going to be the NBC Suites in Grapevine, Texas. It's about 10 minutes north of DFW Airport. It's actually considered to be one of the closest hotels to the DFW Airport in case you're traveling. We do have several people traveling to the conference. It's only going to be $29.99 for that ticket. If you want it, you can go to this link right here. And by the way, that link is in the description below. I made sure to put this one. So when you click on it, it takes you to Hopin, which is the platform we're going to be broadcasting the event from. And you can buy a ticket. You can get either the free virtual ticket, which is free both days, or you can do the in-person ticket, which allows you to see the first day in person and the second day virtual. So if you go to this webpage, it gives you all the information about the hotel. It's Embassy Suites. It's a 4-star hotel. It's only 3 miles from DFW Airport, centrally located if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, only about an hour from Denton, an hour and 10 minutes from Waco, so on and so forth, and a couple of hour flight from most of the US, maybe 3 hours. We do have, when you sign up here and you pay your ticket, you will get a link to the hotel, which will give you a discount on the hotel room. We do have a book of rooms reserved. So if you're traveling and you want a discount on that, you'll get a discount on that as well. We will be broadcasting live. We will have cameras on site. We will have people sitting with me. And then we're going to have a very special event from 5:30 to 7:30, the Gold Room After Dark, where people are going to be able to come in and we're going to talk. You can sit with me and ask me questions. I'll answer questions. We'll have several people sitting at the table with me, and it's going to be a Q&A. You can ask anything you want. We can goof around and have fun. We're going to have prizes and games. We may play some sort of Jeopardy event related to the gold and silver markets, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. We'll ask questions. And if you're virtual and you're not in the gold room, you'll still be able to see the gold room. So don't worry if you can't make it to DFW, you can still see that anyway. And what else? We have a fun network after party. So this will be local only. After 7:30, you'll have the chance to hang out with me and basically have drinks at the hotel if you want, and just kind of chat and hang around and talk about stuff. If you had one-on-one questions you wanted to ask me, or you just want to chat and get to meet me, this is basically like the fan appreciation event that people have been emailing me about for months. We're going to put it here at the conference. So what we want to do, people have been asking me, Rob, how do I get this ticket? Or I'm trying to get the ticket and I'm having trouble. So I'm going to show you how. You just click on this buy your ticket on the website and it takes you to the Hopin platform. Now, when you get to the Hopin platform, and just for a second, I'm going to drop off of the share and I'm going to check the chat. RC 133 122 has a question. I'll get to your question here in a moment, RC. I'm going to go back to the share. Just want to make sure that everything was working correctly. So we're going back to the conference. So you click on that buy your ticket. You have two choices. You have the virtual conference ticket. And again, we'll go back to this site, click on buy your ticket for those of you having trouble. If you're only going to be virtual, you click on the virtual conference ticket, it's free. You just check out. And when you go to check out, if you've never registered an account with the Hopin platform before, you'll have to stick in an email and password and register, and then you can get your ticket. The reason why is Hopin hosts thousands of conferences every year. This is a platform everybody's used. I think Sprott used it last year. New Orleans Investment Conference used it. Silverfest used it. I've used it in the past. So Hopin hosts lots of events across many industries. So when you check out, you're going to create your Hopin account, your name and email, and then you're going to click the button to get the virtual conference ticket. Same thing with in-person. So I'm going to walk you through how to do the in-person with a fake account that I set up. I'm actually not going to complete the transaction, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So if you want to come in person, you have to select this option. If you do not have a ticket, you won't be allowed to the door. Okay, we're going to be checking. So you're going to click on check out, and it's going to say sign up to get started. If you're already registered with Hopin, you just click log in, type your username and password. For all of those that came to my Solutions 2021 conference in January, you already have a Hopin account. So just use your existing account. If you came and registered for Solutions 2021 in January of this year, my event, or you registered for Silverfest with Chris last year, either way, you have an account on Hopin. You just log in. If you've never registered for either event and you've never heard of Hopin, you go down here and you can log in with one of these affiliations, Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, so on, or sign up with email. I'm going to click sign up with email. And again, I'm going to use a burner account. So we're going to put my information in here, Robert Keentz, and my burner account that I just created. I just got a really goofy name over at Yahoo, and I'm going to create a password here that you can't see. I'm going to say I agree, and I'm going to say sign up with email. Okay. And it says, welcome, you are signed up successfully. And it gives you the page in which you enter in your credit card information. And no, I don't want to add this to LastPass. Not now. All right, so you enter your credit card information, all that stuff, and click pay $29.99. As soon as you do that, you are now in the conference. And the conference page will load, and you'll be able to get into the conference and chat with people, okay? So that is basically how you do it. So I'm gonna walk you through at the beginning, all the way from the beginning one more time. You're gonna go back here. You're gonna click on this web page, which is in the description. You're gonna click buy your ticket. If you're not coming to Dallas on August 19th, you click virtual. That gets you both days free. You can watch it virtually at the comfort of your own computer or cell phone, okay? If you wanna come in person on the 19th, you must do an in-person conference ticket, click checkout, register an account. I've already registered an account, so I don't need to enter in that account information, but then I would add in my credit card information. It goes through the system and you get your ticket. It's a virtual ticket. It'll send you an email. You'll have it, and we'll just check it with you when you show up to come in the door. Now, what are the benefits of doing the on-site conference? Well, remember, on-site, you'll be able to see me. You'll be in the room with me as I'm having the conference. As I'm speaking to the guests, we'll have a projector up and you can see the conference going and you can see me and you'll be able to tell what's going on. We will have a private investor session, I believe at 1 p.m. So if you want to come to that private investor session on site, you would buy that on-site conference ticket. And what we have in the private investor session is essentially, we're going to be talking with several companies. We're going to have representatives of over 100 companies that are going to come in and talk about private investment opportunities. Why is that important? Well, if you like to get into the precious metal stock, then that's what you want to do. You want to talk with different companies and see, what's going on there. So that private investor event is only for investors that want to come to the conference. And you can also see this virtually. So if you want to come to the conference and on August 19th, you're not going to be able to make it to Dallas and you want to see that private investor event, we will have a password protected place where you can view that private investor event. Now, how do you sign up for the private investor event? We have had a link on all of our videos for the last 2 weeks on, if you're interested in being a private investor with our private investor service, you put in your information on a Google form. So if you've already done that, you don't have to do it. But if you want to do that, and you want to get in that private investor session, whether virtually or locally, what you want to do is click the link down there that says want to be a private investor and sign that Google form, and it'll basically let you do that, okay? So that's how you do that. Now, I wanted to show you guys what the conference is going to look like. So make sure that you guys know what we're doing. So let's say I've got my ticket and I'm ready to come to the conference. We've got all sorts of stuff going on. We've got some companies that are going to be presenting, but better than even that is we've got a really good schedule for you. So we've got many speakers coming. We have plenty of people that you will recognize from the market, other influencers that are going to be coming and talking. Daniel Vigario, my very good friend from the UK, who helped break the story of the Perth Mint, actually did all the work and analyzing their financial statements and brought it on my program, is going to be joining us. I cannot wait for that. He's going to be in a roundtable with us during the conference. It's going to be a lot of fun. David Hunter is going to open the conference. He'll be the opening speaker, talking about the Fed and market decisions and the general economy. That's a great presentation to open the conference, because it's going to lay the groundwork for why you want to get into gold and silver, why it's important, okay? And he's going to be talking about a lot of factors in the macroeconomy that go into why you want to be in the gold and silver space. Andrew McGuire is going to be coming. He is the whistleblower and a director with Kinesis, and he will also be on a roundtable. We will have James Anderson from SD Bullion, Chris Galizio, the executive producer of The Money Game. I have become a producer of The Money Game, and this is going to be really cool, guys. The Money Game is going to be a movie, which we're going to have some A-list actors. Going to produce a movie in which we talk about finance in a way that the 99% can understand. So you don't have to have a degree in finance. This movie is going to use allegory and story to help us understand what is going on in the financial sector. It's going to open the eyes of a lot of people maybe that don't understand what we understand. People that are coming to my channel know what's going on because we talk about it. 98 to 99% of the people don't, because they don't know. And we're going to be producing a movie which is going to help people understand why. So we're going to be talking about that movie and also doing some fundraising for Chris to get the money to produce that movie. We want to start filming that in the fall. We've already got production costs, but now we need to start getting the money to pay the actors and things. So he'll be there. Andy Scheckman from Miles Franklin, Stuart Englert from the book Rigged, Paul Harris of the Mining Journal talking about mining stocks. You definitely, if you're a mining stock investor, want to see that. Craig Hemphy from TF Metals Report, Chris Marcus from Arcadia Economics, my very good friend, Kieran Von Hest, also known as Dezo Games, and we've got more speakers coming. We just need to get them loaded. So a lot of people will be coming to the conference that you know, that you will appreciate, and that you have seen before. And we're going to have lots of things to talk about. Also, we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Giveaways of silver. So we're going to give a 10-ounce silver bar weight. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out a survey, and it's basically going to be submit your resume for the Perth Mint. Why is that? Because on Twitter, the Perth Mint said they're hiring and they want people qualified to go work at the Perth Mint. So we're going to have fun with that. We want the wackiest and zaniest, surveys or resumes that you can submit for working at the Perth Mint. We'll stick that survey out on Twitter here pretty soon. The winner of that, the best one, the funniest one, and the goofiest one is going to win a 10-ounce silver bar. I'm going to give that away at the conference. We're going to have a bunch of 1-ounce silver giveaways. We're going to also have some other swag for you. We're thinking t-shirts, hats, coffee cups, stuff like that. So lots of giveaways, lots of fun at this conference. We don't want to make it so heavy. We want you to learn, but we want to make it so heavy you don't have fun. So we're going to have a lot of fun at the conference. We're going to play some games. We're going to have the after-hours session, meet and greet, and we really think that you're going to enjoy it. Okay, now to RC 133, 122's question. Can the Treasury value gold, silver if they don't raise the debt ceiling, essentially ending the need for the Fed to allow Treasury to issue money? They could, but I don't think they're going to go that way. I think they're going to go central bank digital currencies. And I don't think they're going to let gold and silver revalue until that happens, because I think that's their bigger plan. The IMF, the BIS, and all of them are saying that. I mean, could they? Yes. But the Treasury, the Treasury is not really on the side of the American people. None of the government really is now. They're invested in their power systems that have been in place for so many years. And politicians tend to do that. That's the problem with politicians, is they tend to want to vest in the existing system. What you're talking about is revaluing gold and silver and taking care of existing issues, but that would take away the power of the existing system, because it would kill the dollar, essentially. People would know the jig is up on the dollar, and they essentially, aren't going to do that. I mean, they're just not going to do it. They don't want to relinquish their power. So I don't think it could happen. Could it happen? Sure, it definitely could happen. And that would be a great thing to happen, but I just don't think they're going to let it happen. I think we're going into central bank digital currency, and it's going to be up to us, the gold and silver guys, the honest money guys, the guys that understand the value of free market trade and hard bullion, to basically fight that and make sure that we're keeping some open free markets and we're keeping a sound money available for the people to use. And I think that's the battle that's coming up. And I think we could win that battle. I really do think we could win it. So just stay tuned to that and see what happens. Thank you for the question, RC. I appreciate you very much. I see Little Boots is in, Craig Trout is in, Shrapnels is in, Brad and On Akuma are in, Urban Sombrero is in, and Gastorfic Muncher and Silverbeard. Thank you, everybody, to the chat. If you have questions, put them in there. I'll try to answer the best I can. Craig says, can you show me loading your credit card number, Rob? No, I'm not going to be publishing my credit card online. You guys can figure that out. Now, I have spoken to a couple of people who are having issues getting in the Hopin. Just keep trying it. If you have an issue, email me at robert@goldsilverpros. But it's basically a straightforward process of registering for the event and getting your ticket. You're welcome, RC, for the answer. So I wanted to get over to Dumb Money Media's promotional for the conference. Done a couple of really good promotional pieces for the conference. And I wanted to play one for you guys. I really appreciate him doing this, and I appreciate Creflo also posting a version of this on YouTube. So we're going to play this, and it's great. If I can get everything done, here we go, and away we go. Promotion for Money Metal Summit 2021.
Yes, it's an opportunity to potentially become a hero of these retail investors that
They're commentators on the internet that are feeding into paranoia on the part of retail investors.
All right, a little off take on Dumb Money Media's presentation. Let's see if I can go find, I can get rid of my meeting controls. Let's see if we can go find Dumb Money Media's YouTube page and get to the original. I want to show you his page in his original version, which is awesome. The Money Metal Summit here. If you want to view it, it's 3 minutes long. I won't play the whole thing, but we'll play just a minute. All right, there we go. This is an awesome video, by the way. Everybody go subscribe to Dumb Money Media's channel, please. He's put out some great videos, helped us out a lot. Not only does he have the one promoting the conference, but lots of other good videos here talking about the metals. Wonderful work that was being done, and definitely appreciate him for doing that. Thank you so much for being, a part of this. All right, we have keep up the great work, Rob from McQuest. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Fat Vegan comes in here with a question. Let's get that one loaded. Do you think carbon credits part of the new future? Yes, I do, because I think what carbon credits are is a way to control industry, and it allows them to facilitate industrial growth in a way that they can control who has power and who doesn't. The biggest entities will win, and I think it's the globalization, or the corporate globalization of industry, if you will. Carbon itself is not a greenhouse gas. Now, this is going to be controversial for people, but if you look at a high school textbook, it will tell you this. Carbon dioxide is not a greenhouse gas. It's part of the atmosphere. And there hasn't been enough additional carbon dioxide created by man to cause global warming. What causes the cycles of cooling and heating, or the climate change, is the amount of Earth's rays that hit the Earth, and the amount of sunspot activity and that type of thing. That's the only scientifically proven way to warm or cool the Earth. It's not carbon dioxide. So I think the carbon system is really set up just to control industry. Why? Because we produce a lot of carbon dioxide through industry, but it allows consolidation to these super entities. And again, that's the globalization of resources and of manufacturing, along with the globalization of the economy. All right, so we had another one in here. Thank you, Fat Vegan. We appreciate it. Dumb Money Media says, I made sure to use royalty-free music, so should be safe from YouTube ban. Thank you. We have gotten several times, if I just play, I used to intro with music a little bit on these live streams, and they would immediately get me for it, on a copyright strike, even if I only played a few seconds of an existing video. So I've learned not to put existing video on there, but good comment there. Thank you, everybody that has contributed through the super chats. Okay, we went over why gold and silver are in the beginning of their bull cycle. It's very important, guys, that you realize that we're only getting started. This has got a long way to run. And if you're into cycle investing, which is the easiest way to grow wealth over time, you're in the right stage of the gold and silver cycle. You want to make your purchases while you have time. And on the speculative end, if you want to get into stocks, we can talk about that as well. We've had several good companies on our channel lately, and we'll talk about that at the conference. Urban Sombrero, thank you for the contribution. Says, hi, Rob, are you watching the Venezuelan court case? If they lose and can't get their gold, do you think other countries will request gold repatriation? I do. It's become politicized, the Venezuelan case. And I don't think it has to do with politics. I think it has to do with them stealing the gold. Am I a fan of the Venezuelan administration? No, I'm not. But it's their damn gold. And why can't they get it? It's because they probably don't have the gold to give them, I would imagine. I think that's the case. And I do think that Hungary is trying to repatriate, Germany's trying to repatriate. Texas opened up a depository. I think it was either Utah or Nevada who opened up their own depository. A lot of people have voted in gold as sales tax free, or as basically a currency alternative. A lot of states in the US. I think a lot of people are waking up to the power of gold and to silver. And I think there's going to be more repatriation regardless of what happens with that case. But I do think it's important that if you're a sovereign okay, and you're storing your gold somewhere else like Venezuela is, regardless of what else happens, it's your damn gold, okay? It's your damn gold. And they're playing political games to try to prevent them from getting their gold. And that's why I think if you don't hold or own your gold, it could be very risky as an individual. You have to make sure you put it with the right company that you can trust. And you have to be careful you're storing it overseas. Those are things to consider. Um, if they're not giving Venezuela's gold back, let's say the sim couldn't happen with storage. You have to be careful there. You have to make sure that you're protected there. And I'm going to talk more. I'm not going to talk as much on this program about it, but I'm going to talk more about some more stuff that's going on in the gold storage industry. I've been extremely disappointed with some current commentators that I have grown up listening to in the gold space, and they're defending some of these scams, or not scams, but these questionable gold and silver ownership options with pooled accounts and unallocated accounts. I'm going to be talking more about that because I'm just really disappointed at who seems to be supporting those. We'll call that out on a different video. We want to do that here, but just know that if you don't own it, or if you don't hold it, then it could be more difficult to get, or it could be more expensive to get. And if you're in an unallocated account, you may never get it. So just be careful there. All right, wanted to do a reminder, guys. Yeah, yes, that's the person I met in the chat, but I'm not going to talk about on this program. Remember, guys, we have the Money Metal Summit coming up the 19th and 20th. The 19th is on site here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 10 minutes north of DFW Airport, 4-star hotel, Embassy Suites. It's only $29.99 to get in on that after-hours dinner session and meet with me publicly and have a conversation. And that's below our cost. It costs about twice as much as that per head, but we're subsidizing that with some sponsor money that we got. So we want to make it cheap and easy for you guys to come. Or if you can't make it to Dallas on the 19th and 20th are both virtual. Go sign up on Hopin. We really would like to have you guys come. We want to break our record. Last time we had 900 registrants to our Solutions 2021 conference in January. We're going to try to pop 1,000, or we're about 35% of the way there. So we got a couple of weeks. We need to get some more registrations in. So please register and invite your friends, especially for the free ticket. And remember, gold and silver are in bull markets. I want to show these charts again just to emphasize this is the most important thing I'm going to talk about today is the gold and silver bull markets. Remember that we're at the beginning of this bull market. We've had a nice little uptake, but this is the slow part. That's why people are frustrated. This is the slow part. We're about to get to the fun exponential part. Don't lose your faith here. Don't lose your faith here. Don't go start investing in all this speculative other stuff because it goes up 50% in 3 weeks and then drops 50% the next 3 weeks. Be safe, invest in things over cycles that are valuable, like gold and silver. Same thing with silver. Look at this chart. We're here. And remember, the industrial demand for silver is more powerful than it's been on any of these other bull markets. So we're going to go higher this time. We're going to go higher than the green one, the 1978 to 80. Plus the inflation's worse, the money printing's worse, all of that. So when we explode in gold and silver, we're going to eclipse these upsides of these previous markets. It's just going to happen. So keep your faith, man. Don't let people talk you out of it. Don't let people tell you it's not going to come. Don't let people try to get you into other speculative assets. Don't go invest in this stock market bull. Don't go buy a bunch of bonds that are going to go negative interest rate or going to lose value over time. Stick with the gold and silver, cycle investing, stay strong. Don't give up. I promise you, your time is coming as a gold and silver investor. Don't worry about it. Thank you, Dumb Money Media, for the next contribution. I can definitely make the next conference in person. Appreciate it. We're not doing full in-person conferences this year to do travel restrictions, but stay tuned for next year. We'll be running a full in-person conference, assuming we don't have another lockdown. But this year we do have that in-person on the 19th. For those of you who have been wanting to do a get-together with me, we want to keep it intimate and in a small group. I think we're taking the first 50 people. So if you do want to show up in person, you better do it quick. I know that we're probably up to at least 10 to 12 already, and we just started advertising a day or two ago, or actually yesterday. So if you want to get in, sign up for that. It's only $29.99. You'll have dinner here, 4-star hotel. And then after that 5:30, 7:30 session, we can meet and chat during the evening. And if you're first time to Dallas-Fort Worth, I'll show you some fun places you can go if you want to make it a weekend or make it a 4-day weekend. Come to Dallas-Fort Worth. There's lots of stuff to do. There's sports, there's local nightlife, stuff like that. I'd be happy to point that way to you as well. All right, I think this is just going to about wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Prepper Days, for being here. Thank you, Grace Best, for being here. John Black for being here. Silverbeard, Yodi, Dumb Money Media, Chud, Hunter, George, Michael, Sarah, everybody else who's been here, Craig Trout, Shrapnels, everybody that joined us. Thank you so much. I have appreciated it. It's been my honor, you know, to have you guys come to the channel, to listen to me rant and rave and talk about what we talk about, but we do it to build the community. We do it to build education and to help people in this market. And again, I think gold and silver are just getting started. Plenty of proof of that. And I think people will be happy to just hold on to it for the next couple of 3 years. They're going to be very, very happy at what happens. So stay strong. Don't give up. Don't let people talk you out of your positions. It's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for joining Cowboy Metals Live, where we broadcast from the great state of Texas. Take no BS and try to give you the best advice that we can. Remember the revised video schedule Tuesday and Thursday every week moving forward. I'm also going to be putting out some special content and promotion for the conference where we look back at our conversation with some of the speakers that are coming to the conference and remind you of why they're so great and why the conference would be so great. Look forward to that over the next couple of weeks. All right, until next time, see you guys from Texas. This has been Rob.